For today's adventure, Maria and I are in Castiglione del Lago in Umbria.
Come with us as we go through Italy, experience the people, the culture, the coffee, the great food, incredible language, history, and share our house buying journey with you. We're going to try and have as much fun as we can. Come with us, come join us in this adventure.
Castiglione del Lago is just off the southeastern border of Tuscany. At this point, we're a stone's throw away from Montepulciano, in a gorgeous agricultural area. We choose Borga Solario as our Agri Turismo of choice. Hosted by Sergio and Michelle, this is one of the most beautiful farms we've been on. Apartments with their own sitting areas, embedded in the heart of nature. With a full day ahead of us, Maria starts us with a breakfast of champions. The goal today is to drive around this wonderful lake and take in as many of the sights as we can. Before we leave, Maria takes out the drone. There's a hamlet just out the back window, and we get the first glimpse of what today really has in store for us. The stunning mountains in the background, the beautifully arranged crops. You can see all the different villas, little homes, and hamlets that we are going to try and spend as much time as we can in today. Join us for this wonderful adventure as we take off. 13 minutes later, we arrive in Castiglione. We walk up this gorgeous stone street, look at the beautiful doors and colors of the buildings. We have entered the town through the southern gate and quickly made our way up to the top of the hill. No matter where you are, if you're at a wall, you just have these views of the lake, the countryside, the vegetations and the mountains looming large behind you. A spectacular swath of green with the colors of autumn affecting some of the trees that are around us. Beautiful homes, tiled roofs, stone walls, and wooden shutters. We know today will be amazing. We saunter through a restaurant that is yet to open today to catch another glimpse of the lake and to see what could possibly be hiding.
How's that for a little property, baby?
Yes, love it. Can we buy it, honey?
Sure, sweetie. And you climb over the wall, jump down, go have a conversation.
Having walked around the town, we decide to re-enter through the eastern gate. Gorgeous green shutters, red brick, white stone, and a glimpse of the first stores.
So originally, when we started looking for a place to live, we decided that they fall into 4 broad categories. The first category is fairly dense urban living. So for us, that would have been Rome, it would have been Florence. Definitely not the burbs. The burbs we have already. So that was option 1. And having watched our videos, you may remember we visited Florence. And we both now know beyond a shadow of a doubt, option 1 is not an option. Option 2 was to move to a smaller village, stay in the historical center or near the historical center. Again, we're going to stay away from the burbs. Our concern on that one is, did we want to live with a little trattoria right next to us? And as Maria stopped right outside this beautiful church. Anyway, coming back to the beginning of the second category, we were looking at something that would be probably a little urban dense again, but density would be far less because these historical centers are just generally far smaller towns. So, perspective, Panzano was 1,000 and change. A lot of the places we've looked at are 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. And so moving out of a more metropolis situation into these smaller apartments, these smaller historical cities, our concern again was, did we want revelry and song outside the master bedroom at 1 a.m? We've subsequently learned that for most of these little towns, at 10 o'clock you could fire a cannon down the main road and not touch anybody. So what was probably not in our original house hunt has definitely bounced straight back up. And so we are certainly open to an apartment where we can open the front door and roll into a latte. Our third category was looking at a village and or a hamlet which are roughly differentiated on whether they have a church or not. The concern there again was, what about noise and other people? And I think we're going to have a look at a couple of hamlets. That feels a bit more like living in a townhouse, but we'll see what that's like. And then our last large group is the home on its own on a block of land. So we may have neighbours, generally neighbours a little further away. I think some people might call these ranchettes, and I apologize for the Americanism, but it's a good way of describing how these properties are. So as we continue down this journey, we've realized group 1 is not us. Group 2 is now strongly becoming a real option for us. We're excited to see houses in group 3 and group 4.
Changing topics, you find these beautiful little stuffed wild boar, or cinghiali as they're known in Italy. Rounding a corner, we are back on these stunning stone roads, these gorgeous old buildings, these modern day bicycles, shops everywhere. I did wind up spending time in Safara and left with a very nice European wallet. We wandered into the next store, which had this amazing collection of wine, olive oil, preserves, and balsamic vinegar. Back outside, in this beautiful little square, we seem to be too early for this restaurant. We take in again the colors. There is this wonderful, wonderful little breakfast place. And we know we're going to be sipping a latte and enjoying a croissant shortly. As we move through the square, we see the building on the right, which we quickly figure out is one of the local government buildings. We go down the side, restaurants are just everywhere, and we're just amazed at how well kept the streets are and how clean everything is. But something catches our eye.
And bang! Big yellow sign, Bendis. It looks like this little multi-story home or apartment might be for sale. So it seems to have a beautiful little garage, which may or may not still be functional. But I think we'd spend a bit of time going up and down the stairs. Might keep us younger and alive longer. So let's see what we can find out about. So Cielo Terra, it's got 4 piani. It's 160 square meters. So we take the 4 piani to be 4 bedrooms. It's got a terrazzo and a spectacular view. Tito Vista stupenda.
I will say for piano it's 4 floors.
4 floors. Oh yes, 4 piano, you're right. 160 squares.
Having looked at that lovely house for sale, we turn 180 degrees and walk past the side of the government buildings. One cannot wonder how much fun it must be to be in a building with these amazing, amazing views. The elevation or the knoll that the little city is on or the little town is on just gives you the perfect view for the lake. And again, everything is so clean, so well presented. The mixtures of the cars, the houses, the trees. Maria and I are coming near the end of our visit to this little town before we move on. And we're just wondering what the rest of the lake will hold for us. What will there be in the next little town? Walking back, we decide to find coffee. Maria sees these gorgeous open doors. We go in to what I think might be one of the most beautiful little churches we have seen. Once inside, there's a chance just to take it all in. This is still a church that is in daily use. The walls display beautiful murals which have been there for hundreds of years. They're original artworks, hand-carved wood, these glorious colors in stark contrast to the benches. A hop, a skip and a jump, and we are back in the town center. Looking around, these buildings hold apartments, and we wonder just how special it must be to look down on this fountain and enjoy the restaurants right on your doorstep.
It is nice here, right?
Oh, it is beautiful, yeah. Maybe there is a bar central, eh? Do you want to grab some coffee?
Yes, let's do it here. I'm good.
Just enough time for a last photo and also our Beauty and the Beast photograph.
There is just simple, beautiful video of two of us.
Love it.
Next to the lake. Nice.
Back in the car, we drive to the north side. Yep, it's time for pizza. Finally fed, we circle around the lake. Time for a quick look back as we head to Città della Pieve. We have arrived in the early evening and there is soft weather that has blown in. Small drops of rain in this beautiful old city. The sights, the sounds are nothing short of marvelous. A gorgeous church bell and a tall tower. Everybody is out on the streets enjoying this wonderful evening. Yes, my coat is turned up. You'd be surprised how fresh it can get once the sun goes down. We wander into one of the local bars and everybody's being entertained by a local band. The children are out, families are out, everybody's having a wonderful time tonight. It's time for us to walk back outside again, and we are going to be greeted by the beautiful sounds of the bells ringing in the distant tower. I tried to convince Maria they were ringing the bells because they knew she was in town. There's a beautiful little street market. The stores are just so meticulous. And again, we find ourselves with yet another favorite place to visit. With the sun finally set, it's time to head back. We have a strong recommendation from Sergio to try Laguna Blu, one of his favorite pizza places. Rounding the evening off, dinner for two and a bottle of wine under €30. A misty morning greets us, and Maria starts this day with a tour of our room at Borga Solario.
Well, usually people doing room tour before they get into the room. We are going room tour before we leave. So there was a space where we stay for 1 week. It was very, very nice and cute place. Sorry, it can be maybe not neat anymore because we've been staying here, but it is our living room. There is a little TV, nice kitchen. There was our view for whole week, unbelievably nice. And there is a little bathroom over here with the views too, yes, and our bedroom. And there is a view was from our bedroom, which I love to do every morning. I open the windows, actually live in opening the windows, and we can see this. Great.
We felt there was one very important part of this experience we wanted to share, and we said we will talk about the things that go well. We'll also talk about the things that didn't go well. What you are looking at is the Ospedale in Castiglione del Lago. This is the hospital, and we are walking back the following morning to share the video of what the entrance in the emergency room looks like. Unfortunately, I ended up with what I thought was a dire ear and throat infection, and that had been misdiagnosed twice in the US at about $3,000 to $4,000 for each emergency room visit. The previous night, we showed up here at around 10 o'clock in the evening. We walked in and were told that we'd have to please be patient and wait a whole 5 minutes to see the doctor. The paperwork we had to fill in, about half a page. We saw the doctor. The nurse who helped us was fantastic. The doctor did not speak Italian, but the doctor did correctly diagnose that I had a tooth infection. Again, this had been missed twice. We were given medication, something from the pain, and sent home. As we are not EU citizens, this was a visit we would have to pay for, out of pocket. The nurse was almost apologetic for handing us the bill. This ER trip came in at a whopping €20. We closed this episode out with some bonus footage taken while Maria and I were driving between two of the little towns on the lake. Thank you for being a part of our adventure.
Okay, here we go. So, baby, what was the name of the town we just came out of? What do you think it was?
I think it was Sur la Trasimeno.
Sur la Trasimeno. Brava, Maria, brava.
Maybe bravo, maybe not, I don't know.
So, what happened is during all of our research, we found a couple of places that we thought would have great views over Lake Trasimeno.
Yes.
And while we probably should not be doing this, we're going to drive to some of them and just kind of see what they look like from the outside. We're not going to go into anybody's yard. We're not going to open any gates. We do want to check the area out before we say to the agent, see if you can get us in. See beautiful, beautiful trees. There are pine trees that look like a little clump. There's one on the left. I think they're pine trees. They might be fir trees. I should probably find out. Maria lovingly calls them broccoli trees. I think the first driveway we get to that has anything similar to that leading up to the house, we might be putting in an offer. So when we first started looking at the houses, you also kind of look at them in between and go, oh, there's a beautiful farmhouse. Oh, no, there's another beautiful farmhouse. And then you get over here and you get a sudden realization that there really is no shortage of beautiful old farmhouses in need of restoration. Look at these beautiful trees lining the road as we drive up here. Just another stunning view of the countryside. I normally put the camera over and share that with you. At this stage, you just don't need to scare Maria to death.
beautiful town of San Gianetto. Oh, oh.